Are you starting to believe in the two top teams in the East?
Oh.
The Bulls and Wizards?
It's Ben Simmons. He has to go. You got to get rid of him. I'm not saying trade him for 20 cents on the dollar or even 40 cents on the dollar.
Back tap by Nurkic. An alert volley to Covington. On to Dame, looking for that explosion. Not there. Not this time.
Oh, so Morris banging.
Wait, hold up. We aren't even halfway through the 2021-2022 season yet, and we're already seeing crazy things happening around the league. I mean, just a couple of nights back, who would have thought that the King would be involved in something like this?
He's in there tangled up, and he inadvertently gets an elbow from LeBron.
Then a few moments later,
and he's still trying to get loose.
Man, that Isaiah dude definitely can apply as a running back for the Detroit Lions after plowing through a pile of humanity just like that. As per the reports made by The Athletic after the game, LeBron tried to track down Stewart's phone number to apologize and to say there was no malice. But ESPN's Stephen A. Smith didn't agree with that and said that LeBron should be suspended for what he did. He's got to be suspended. I totally agree with Anthony Davis from that standpoint. He does not have a reputation as a dirty player. That's not who LeBron James is. But that doesn't mean that that play wasn't dirty. You swung your elbow. And because you swung your elbow and it caused that kind of damage, that's what sparked the incident. What's even funnier about this is just a few days later, the Lakers matched up with the Pistons again, and this happened.
That was a turning point in the game. Ooh, look out.
LeBron threw that ball at Saddiq Bey's face. But just imagine if that was Isaiah Stewart. Oh my goodness. Anyway, moving on to more crazy NBA news, the basketball gods certainly have malice in putting a curse on poor Damian Lillard.
Deep range who really opens up the floor. Drives inside, blocked by Payton. Play a little bit more under control. He has had a lot of energy on that offensive side as Lillard misses every.
Wow. I mean, when was the last time you saw Dame Time dropping air balls? Lillard has been on a slump as of late, producing career lows particularly on the scoring end, highlighted with his 30.8 three-point percentage. When a reporter asked about his recent performance, here's what Dame Dolla dropped at the mic. I always look at struggles as opportunity to show my true character. When things go great, there's a lot of praise that goes along with that. A lot of people give you a lot of credit. They speak highly of you on social media, TV. Oh, Dame had 60, Dame had 50. They speak really highly of you. But I think it says more when you're going through something and shit is kind of hitting the fan and you're struggling and everybody's got something to say to me. The real ones, they keep on trucking and keep on going and still find a way to get the job done. So personally, I embrace that. It's not fun, it's not easy, but it's part of my DNA. That's how I got to this position. I'm not angry about it. I'm frustrated with it. I do see it as a challenge, and it's one I accept, and I know I'll come out on top like I always do. You know what, guys? I don't really have an idea why Dame is struggling like this. Or maybe this is his subtle way of saying, get me traded to perhaps the 76ers? Because let me tell you guys, the Philly fans are already one step ahead of this. Well, aside from this theory, some people might also put the blame on the newly imposed ball as to why Dame has been shooting historically bad this season. In case you're not in the loop, the NBA has switched to using Wilson basketballs this season and effectively ending their partnership with the Spalding brand, which served as the NBA's official ball for the last 37 years. There are mixed reactions about the ball change, and some players voiced out their sentiments about the issue, like Paul George. Not to make an excuse or anything, it's just a different basketball. It doesn't have the same touch or softness as the Spalding ball had. Perhaps PG-13 might be saying soon, I don't care what anyone says, it's a bad ball. All jokes aside, let's move on to a more popular narrative this season, and that is the curious case of Mr. Kyrie Irving. As you're fully aware, the Houdini of handles hasn't suited up for the Nets this season because of the vaccination issue. But as of late, there was an Irving sighting on the court as he attended a game with former NBA player Tim Thomas at Seton Hall. According to news reports, he was there to support his friend Bryce Aiken as the two have a long history and both of them have attended the same high school. Now, with regard to the vaccination issue, here's what Kyrie had to say. I chose to be unvaccinated, and that was my choice, and I would ask you all to just respect that choice. I'm going to just continue to stay in shape, be ready to play, be ready to rock out with my teammates, and just be part of this whole thing. This is not a political thing. This is not about the NBA, not about any organization. This is about my life and what I'm choosing to do. Despite Kyrie's absence, the Nets are getting the job done as they sit on top of the East with a 15-6 record thanks to the Beard and their MVP frontrunner, Kevin Durant. While the Nets are going to do some damage in the East, it's actually kind of surreal seeing the Dubs back in the driver's seat in the West with a league-leading 18-2 win-loss record.
Steph being guarded by his brother, gets free, takes, you bet. Big rebound, Curry. Here comes Golden State. Don't look, Wiggins.
After back-to-back seasons of missing the playoffs, the Warriors seem to be turning back the hands of time as they're currently flexing their championship form. And what's scary about this is that they're destroying everyone without Klay Thompson and James Wiseman in their lineup. The Dubs are currently having their best statistical season in the last 3 years, and they're doing it on both ends of the floor, ranking first in the defensive rating and assist while placing second in offensive rating with 113 points a ball game. While the Dubs are having their best season as of late, you can't say the same thing about this guy right here.
But Mike Scott stuck on Hayes. Williamson fouled at the rim.
Zion has been projected as the next beast that will terrorize the NBA. But in the last 2 years, Zion has only clocked in 85 games out of 144 possible games due to the season-ending injuries that he had to deal with. And now it seems that weight issues have caused him to miss the first quarter of the 2022 season. Kenny Smith of Inside the NBA recently gave his 2 cents on how to solve this issue, and it was simple and sweet. He said,
So it's not hard. It's a mental.
Anyway, moving on here. Just like Kyrie, there's also another point guard that has been missing in action for quite some time now, but for a totally different reason. Of course, I'm talking about none other than Ben Simmons. Now, if you want a crash course about this topic, make sure to check out this, as we covered everything you need to know about the Ben Simmons drama from A to Z. Anyway, the 76ers are 11-11 this season. Embiid has only played 9 games, Tobias played 11 games, and their third star Ben Simmons has played a grand total of 0 games. The holdout between Simmons and the 76ers camp continues, even though Simmons decided to show up and attend practice games while the team looks for some place for him to land. Though that news is not new to us, there are new developments that came out which involve Simmons losing a ton of money over this controversy and a creeping mental health problem. According to Howard Eskin, he received reports that Simmons may be broke from losing so much money for the games that he continues to miss. In his words, "I was told by somebody very reliable he may have tapped out, broke, cash flow broke, because he's losing so much money, but he spent so much money. $17.5 million home. Remember, he has to pay taxes too. $17.5 million home. He's got 2 homes in the Philadelphia area, probably worth $8 or $9 million. He buys a new car every month, $400,000 or $500,000. He just spends money like it's nothing because he thinks it never ends. And the person that told me that, it's very reliable that he has got serious cash flow issues." Now, moving on to the other issue, Woj recently reported that Simmons sought a team-recommended medical specialist to discuss his mental health. According to his agent, Rich Paul, the cause of the client's mental anxiety can be attributed to the 76ers organization, as they kept handing out fines and continued to negatively hurt the public image of Simmons. He also added that the 76ers are forcing Simmons to play despite already informing the team that he's not mentally prepared to get back on the hardwood. Here's the exact soundbite of what Rich Paul had to say about this. "He's not there yet. How can a doctor who has only met with Ben once say, Ben is mentally ready to play? So do we keep digging on him or help him? Now that we understand that reluctance from Ben, it all makes sense. There was a shying away from it. If Ben has repeatedly shown behavior that entails he isn't mentally ready to play, embrace him, support him. We have to remove our ego from it. We all have to take responsibility. This is no longer about a trade. This is about finding a place where we can help Ben get back his mental strength and get back on the floor. I want him on the floor playing the game that he loves." From the animosity between Simmons and the 76ers, let's finally move on to the beef between the Joker and one half of the Morris twins, which started from an elbow and ended with an elbow.
Nuggets have 5 on 4, and
After things got a bit chippy for both teams after that incident, there was only one guy from the Heat that clearly wanted to continue bringing the Heat back to the locker room.
Blood brewing between these two teams. Jimmy Butler at half court, finger pointing to the Denver bench.
Apparently, Jimmy Butler wanted Jokic's head so badly that he threatened him and the entire Denver roster to meet him and the rest of the crew at the dugout to see who has the biggest balls at the end of the day. And it didn't end there. The beef between Jokic and Morris even spilled onto social media, where the brothers of Jokic created a new Twitter account and started a war of words versus Markieff. Anyway guys, like I said, strange things have been happening this season so far, but y'all want to know what's even stranger? Some people still think Steph Curry is a bad defender. Sheesh, my goodness guys. So as a result of that, I decided to make a video here for y'all where I highlight just how underrated he really is on the defensive side of the court. It's a big video guys, so click it, and like always, I'll see you on the other side.